If an enlightened person still needs food, are they really free? And what if everything you have been told about enlightenment is wrong? Many people imagine enlightenment as a state where all suffering disappears, all negative emotions vanish, and life becomes permanent peace and happiness. But is that really what enlightenment means? What if enlightenment is not the absence of greed, hatred, ignorance, or suffering? What if enlightenment is something far more practical? The ability to remain in command of your actions, even when those things arises. Hello, my name is Dadalbert here, and in this video, I will be exploring a different perspective on enlightenment, one that focuses less on becoming emotionless and more on developing the wisdom and self-mastery to choose your actions consciously regardless of what is happening inside your mind. So let's begin. Imagine someone tells you an enlightened person is free from attachment, free from suffering, free from greed, hatred, and delusions. Sounds impressive, right? But then a simple question arises. If that enlightened person stops eating, what happens? They die, of course. If they become sick, Buddhism traditions, samatha means tranquility, calmness, and stable of mind. Through concentration and mental training, a person gradually develops a peaceful mind. Many people assume that the goal of this practice is to reach a state where mental suffering disappears. Can anyone really know? There are no deeper levels of tranquility waiting to be discovered. Human knowledge appears endless. There are always new things to learn, new insights to gain, new experiences to understand. So perhaps the explorations of the mind is also endless. And if that's true, then the idea of a final destination becomes difficult to prove. Traditional Buddhism responds differently in this case. It teaches that there is an ultimate liberation, a state where greed, hatred, and delusion have been uprooted completely. According to this view, the goal is not infinite explorations, but complete freedom. Yet this arises another puzzle. What is it? Okay, suppose someone reaches this ultimate freedom. Why would they still care for the body? Why would they eat food? Why would they seek medicines? And why would they avoid danger? The usual Buddhist answer is that physical needs remain, but attachment disappears. An enlightened person may eat when hungry, just as a car takes fuel when needed. The action remains, but the craving is gone. However, some people find this explanation difficult. After all, choosing food over starvation still reveals a preference. Choosing health over sickness still reveals a preference. Choosing shelter over exposure still reveals a preference. So if preferences remain, has attachment truly disappeared? This is where the debate becomes fascinating. Buddhists often distinguish between need and attachment. A need is practical, attachment is psychological. For example, I need food because my body requires it. This is considered a practical recognition, but I must have that specific food or I will be miserable. This is considered attachment. The enlightened person, according to Buddhism, experiences the first but not the second. Yet critics may respond with another challenge. Even if the attachment to food disappears, Perhaps attachment simply moves elsewhere. Imagine someone saying, I care about food, shelter, and health because without them, I cannot continue my spiritual journey. In this view, food is not the goal, health is not the goal, comfort is not the goal. They are merely tools. The real attachment is to pursuit of deeper understanding and tranquility. This creates a different pictures of enlightenment. Instead of reaching a final destination, the person remains a lifelong explorer. The body becomes a vehicle, food becomes fuel, medicine becomes maintenance. Act wisely without becoming mentally trapped by fear. Consider two people facing the same problem. Both lose a large amount of money. One becomes obsessed, angry, and miserable for weeks. The other feels disappointment, takes practical action, and moves on. Both cared, both reacted, but one suffered far more than the other. Perhaps enlightenment is not the absence of all preferences. Perhaps it is freedom from being dominated by those preferences, or perhaps the critics are right. Or perhaps complete non attachment is impossible for any living human being. The debate remains open. What makes this question so powerful is that it forces us to ask guarantee some form of attachment. These questions have been discussed for thousands of years, and perhaps their value lies in encouraging us to examine our own minds. Because whether enlightenment is possible or not, every one of us must face the same reality. We all depend on conditions, we all have needs, we all seek happiness, and somewhere between attachment and freedom lies one of the greatest mysteries of human existence. Thank you this much for today.